Let's talk about sports. I watch some of Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. He cracks me up. I watch Colin Cowherd, The Herd, and that other guy. And a topic came up about politics and sports. I'm going to say some things that might piss some people off. And it started out with Taylor Swift. How people are so fucking annoyed having to see her all the time on broadcasts on Chiefs games. She's in the fucking skybox cheering. Go Travis, hit another home run, like she knows anything about fucking football, but they gotta get her on fucking TV any way they can. And there's been so much fucking overkill with her. I'll talk about music a little bit too. So much overkill with her. People are acting like she's the second coming of fucking Jesus. Personally, hey, she may be talented. If people like that type of music, Or if some guys just like eye candy. She's a very nice looking woman. Don't care for her music. I don't care for a lot of music. Yeah, I admit I'm still stuck in my old school rock and roll days, Give me the Beatles, Stones, Zeppelins, Aerosmith, Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep. I used to like that band. And I can get into so many bands. I like metal. But I'm talking, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Lemmy. Come on, man, you gotta love Lemmy. He's missed by a lot of people. I never got into the hair metal. Hairspray and lipstick and eyeliner. I never got into any of them. Motley Crue. I never got into Kiss. And I never got into any of that. To me, that glam, they call it hairspray metal, whatever. I never really cared for any of them. Cinderella. It's every guy trying to look more like a girl than the guys in the next fucking band trying to look like hotter girls than each other. That never did anything for me. I liked grunge. Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Screaming Trees was a good band. And I still listen to a lot of that shit to this day. So, it's nothing personal against Taylor, but the overkill is fucking outrageous. I check out Facebook once in a blue moon, man. You can't get away from all these fucking fan groups. And I have to say the truth, it's not them. You think these fucking singers and celebrities actually want to devote the time to be sitting there and with a Facebook page? No, it's their fans, their fan group pages, They can't get enough of these people. And it's overkill. And people just get tired of fucking seeing it. I think people are going to be happy when Super Bowl's over. No more Chiefs games on TV. They won't have to be seeing Taylor Swift up in the skybox cheering, you know what I mean? Some games, they pay more attention to her than what's going on in the fucking field. Don't worry, I'm leading to politics and social issues. How I feel about that in sports. And Colin was talking, Skip Bayless, that's what I was talking about, on Undisputed. You know who he has on there? As a co-host at times, breaking down games, analyst. Lil Wayne, right? Very intelligent man, I tell you. Rap music. I cannot stand rap music. Cannot stand it. I call it illiterate, bad ghetto poetry. Hey, that's how I see it. Hip hop. Huh? I can't stand it. But I like some of the performers as people. If anyone didn't know that Lil Wayne, he's got all tattoos on his face and shit and that fucking gold teeth. And, he's kind of, a little odd looking. But he's a very intelligent man. Great sense of humor. And he knows his shit about sports, from basketball, football especially. And he adds very good, intelligent commentary to the conversation on what the topic is on that show, on that day. I like him. Snoop Dogg. Don't like his music. But he's a cool guy. Not just because, he likes Uncle Brian Lifters too. But I've seen these guys on interviews away from music, just as a person, one-on-one interviews with people, and I've seen them. And they're very intelligent, very intelligent, very literate, uh, and they're interesting to listen to. And they seem like a real decent person. And a lot of them, it's about image. You know, back in Arizona, I don't know if I'll put it up on the community. When I was in Arizona for those 3 years, I went there basically because both my daughters had gone off to college, one year before the other, Arizona State. And they had planned on staying there. And I said, after I got divorced, sold the house with the wife. Went out there, bought a condo in Scottsdale. I said, my daughters are here. Yeah, I'll go out there and change the scenery, And I bought a condo in Scottsdale. They both lived in Tempe, college town where Arizona State is. And they went to college during the day, and at night they worked a job in a restaurant, Chinese restaurant. And the owner of the restaurant was very good friends with Ice-T, yes, the rapper and the actor on Law and Order SVU, and his wife Coco, Ice Loves Coco, the MTV reality show and all that. And Ice and the owner of the restaurant were very good friends. And when Ice lived in Scottsdale, he had a place there. He stayed away from even Ice. I got to meet him once. My daughters got to meet him and Coco many times. They went to their house one time for a get-together, and some celebrities were there. I have a picture of my daughters with Ice and Coco. And very straight-laced guy, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke cigarettes, no tattoos. He's kind of quiet. Some people would take him as being a little standoffish. Like, not rude, but kind of like, he'll say hi, but he's just a quiet guy by nature. Man, a few words, as they say. But a pretty decent guy, Coco. My daughters loved her to death, man. Very pleasant, outgoing. She made up for his shyness, you know what I mean? And so I ended up out there. Then when they decided to come back here, after a few years, sold the condo, came back here. Ended up where I started out, down here on this Fort Taylor Peninsula, where I grew up as a kid. And I've been around celebrities, Been to Martha's Vineyard, I don't know how many times. James Taylor lives there. I've run into him, met him a few times. He's just a regular islander, decent guy. No big ego. Like I said, Jimmy Buffett, he was a whole different story. They couldn't wait for him to leave that fucking island. He was an arrogant, egotistical asshole. He thought he owned the fucking place. James Taylor did not like him at all. When I lived in Scottsdale, who lived there was Nicolas Cage. What a fucking dickhead, a drunk. He was barred out of almost every bar in fucking Scottsdale, starting shit with people, the big fucking ego and asshole. Alice Cooper was seen around those spots. I saw him one time coming out of a store with a couple of friends, hair in a ponytail, baseball cap on, his golf cap, sneakers, walks down the street, nobody's crowding him. That's why they kind of like living in Scottsdale and Phoenix and those areas. They don't get away from the Hollywood glitz, So I know about how some people can be starstruck. And they kind of go way over the fucking top, idolizing them. That's what's happened with Taylor Swift. And Colin Cowherd was talking about this. And I said, oh yeah, it's true. But back then it wasn't social media. It was in the 80s and 90s, if you were a Lakers fan, by the way, our Celtics fucking nasty or what? We better win it all this year. We have the team. Jason Tatum is finally playing to his potential. Jaylen Brown, man, we have a good team. I think we're top team in the whole NBA right now. Best record. But if you're a Lakers fan, when they showed a Lakers game on TV, you always saw Jack Nicholson sitting there in the front eighties, but people really didn't care much. It's like, yeah, okay. Matthew McConaughey shows up at a lot of games. I forget what team it is he's a fan of. Spike Lee was always at Knicks games, sitting in that front row. Even Eminem was seen at Michigan games, basketball games. It's like, yeah, that's nice, and nobody really gave a fuck. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift, people are losing their fucking minds because now they've made her more important than the fucking game itself. That's what's bothering people. You know, they need to drag celebrity into a sport. For me, I've said this before, a few years back, I'll say it again. Some people got pissed, and you know how I feel about that? I'll explain it with my Uncle Brian World's Fastest Magic Trick. Okay, ready? Watch. It's World's Fastest Magic Trick. That's how much I care. Want to see it again? You know, we have all the social issues that I fully support. I don't agree with all of their tactics and behavior associated with it. But I can understand the reasoning for these protests, equality, wanting some sort of social and, you know, law enforcement justice. But I don't want to see it in the game. National anthem is where I caught a lot of hell. And I'll tell you, anyone, don't even fucking think about calling me unpatriotic. I spent 20 years in the fucking United States Marine Corps. I spent 3.5 years and 3 tours playing in the fucking sandbox in Iraq and Afghanistan. Don't even think about trying to preach to me about fucking patriotism, okay? But all this shit started with Colin Kaepernick, national anthem. He's taking a knee. Personally, I didn't give a fuck whether he did or not. He was just pulling a temper tantrum because he got benched because his play went down the fucking shitter. When he got benched, he didn't like it. And he used Black Lives Matter as just a way to get fucking attention and to get people to support his cause in the black community. Understandable. I suspect there, as much as I can support the purpose of, you know, police harassment, this, that, the other thing, can't get a job, can't get housing because of the color of your skin. That shit is dead fucking wrong, man. I support the cause, I just don't like a lot of their behavior. And I got the hiccups. And their antics. I drank my fucking Dunkin' coffee too fast. You know? So he pulled a hissy fit. You know? And people, I'm never going to watch an NFL game again. And they did. You know, all the talk is fucking cheap, let me tell you. And that became a big major issue, other players taking a knee in. When I watch a game, I don't want to see banners and things on helmets and uniforms for social or political causes. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see a fucking game. That's why I'm there. I had season tickets for the Patriots for a long time. Me and my oldest daughter is my football buddy. Once Brady went away, I gave up my package. You know, I had 2 seats in the 40-yard line, 13 rows back from the field behind their bench. Great seats. At that time, there wasn't as much of this bullshit going on. Black Lives Matter. Rainbows. Go green. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see a fucking game. When I turn on TV, I want to watch a game. I don't want to see rainbows and pink ribbons on fucking helmets and rainbows and Black Lives Matter and go green and this and that. It's a fucking game. Keep that shit out of the fucking game. Keep it out of the fucking stadium. You're a spectator, you want to wear it on your person and go and watch a game, by all means. When it's promoted by a team, promoted by a national network, I got a fucking problem with that. Here's where I'm really going to turn up the heat on myself. I have a problem with the fucking national anthem being played at games. Do you know where that originated? Fucking Nazi Germany, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, and all the communist countries. That's where that tradition started. Worked its way here. Doesn't have a place in sports. It's not a political event. It's a game. You know? The only time I feel a national anthem should be played is at the Olympics, and I'm not big on the Olympics. I know it's coming up this summer again, and I don't give a fuck about that either. I remember the last one, how you can't get away from Taylor Swift. You couldn't get away from Simone Biles, that black gymnast that had a mental breakdown and had to quit. And so the Olympics became about Biles. Simone, is that what her name is? Simone Biles? The Olympics, even when she was out of it now, all they did was talk about fucking Simone Biles for the rest of the whole fucking Olympics. The way it was back with Nancy Kerrigan. And what's her face did it? You know, Tonya Harding. Hey, back in my day, when athletes took a knee, they really took a fucking knee. Sorry, I can't help it. You know, in the Olympics, yeah. The winners, gold, silver, and bronze, when they were at the podium getting their medals, that's the time you play the national anthem for the team they're representing. I feel that's the time and the place for it. Not every fucking football game, every baseball game, every hockey game, every basketball game. It's a fucking game. It's not a national event. Go ahead, get mad at me all you want now. That's how I see it. You know, remember that movie with Robin Williams, The World According to Garp? It actually had a fucking transsexual in that movie. Who the fuck was that guy? He was in Harrigan to Henderson's. John Lithgow. He was a guy that he knew, and now he was a woman. He had a wig. He was a real ugly looking woman. That was a fucked up movie when you think about it. His wife was cheating on him, giving a guy a blowjob in a car. The car starts rolling down a hill, hits the tree. She fucking bites his dick off. Remember that movie, The World According to Garp? Well, this is the world according to Uncle Brian. Have a great day, have fun, and stay safe.